I just had an opportunity to speak with the Floyd family and a group of them, most of them. They're a close, decent, honorable family, loving one another. Once again, we had the words, heard the words, and they heard them. I can't breathe. An act of brutality so elemental, it did more than deny one more black man in America his civil rights and his human rights. It denied him of his very humanity. It denied him of his life. Depriving George Floyd is, as it deprived Eric Garner, one of the things every human being must be able to do. Breathe. So simple, so basic, so brutal. With the same thing happened with Aubrey. The same thing happened with Breonna Taylor. The same thing with George Floyd. We've spoken their names aloud. We cried them out in pain and in horror. We chiseled them into a long, suffering hearts. They're the latest additions to the endless list of stolen potential wiped out unnecessarily. It's a list that dates back more than 400 years. Black men, black women, black children. The original sin of this country still stains our nation today, and sometimes we manage to overlook it. We just push forward with 1,000 other tasks in our daily life, but it's always there. In weeks like this, we see it plainly that we're a country with an open wound. None of us can turn away. None of us can be silent. None of us can any longer can we hear the words, I can't breathe, and do nothing. We can't fail victims like, what Martin Luther King called the appalling silence of good people. Every day, African Americans go about their lives with a constant anxiety and trauma, wondering who'll be next. Imagine if every time your husband or son, wife or daughter left the house, you feared for their safety from bad actors and bad police. Imagine if you had to have that talk with your child about not asserting your rights, taking the abuse handed out to them just so they could make it home. Imagine having police called on you just for sitting in Starbucks or renting an Airbnb or watching birds. This is the norm black people in this country deal with. They don't have to imagine it. The anger and frustration and the exhaustion, it's undeniable. But that's not the promise of America. It's long past time that we made the promise of this nation real for all people. This is no time for incendiary tweets. It's no time to encourage violence. This is a national crisis. We need real leadership right now. Leadership that will bring everyone to the table so we can take measures to root out systemic racism. It's time for us to take a hard look at the uncomfortable truths. It's time for us to face that deep, open wound we have in this nation. We need justice for George Floyd. We need real police reform that hold cops to a higher standard that so many of them actually meet, that holds bad cops accountable, that repairs relationship between law enforcement and the community they're sworn to protect. We need to stand up as a nation with the black community, with all minority communities, and come together as one America. That's the challenge we face. It's going to require those of us who sit in some position of influence to finally deal with the abuse of power. The pain is too immense for one community to bear alone. I believe it's the duty of every American to grapple with it, and to grapple with it now. With our complacency, our silence, we are complicit in perpetuating these cycles of violence. Nothing about this will be easy or comfortable. But if we simply allow this wound to scab over once more, without treating the underlying injury, we'll never truly heal. The very soul of America is at stake. We must commit as a nation to pursue justice with every ounce of our being. We have to pursue it with real urgency. Got to make real the promise of America, which we've never fully grasped, that all men and women are equal, not only in creation, but throughout their lives. Again, to George's family, Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I promise you, we do everything in our power to see to it that justice is had in your brother, your cousin's case. God love you all, and folks, we got to stand up. We got to move. We got to change.
My favorite part was when he said, Hong Kong. Wow, what a dichotomy. So, your job is to find someone who lives in a swing state and convince them to vote. Because if you don't live in a swing state, okay, that happened very quickly. And I didn't know that it was going to happen so quickly. I didn't get a chance to grab a drink or anything like that. But let's see what you guys have to say. How refreshing leadership feels. Yeah, decent man. This is what I say about him. I don't know that he'll be the best president we've ever had. But from everything I know about Joe Biden, he does seem like an absolutely decent man. On the one hand, we have Joe Biden looking directly at the camera and saying, we need to make this real. The promise, America. And on the other hand, we have Trump sitting on the toilet tweeting that looters get shot. Oh, yeah, I actually heard that for the first time yesterday, Barbara. Go to Pod Save America and you can adopt a swing state. I didn't look into it because I was falling asleep as I was listening, but that's an idea. We'll work with him. Yeah, the allies they're all rooting for Biden. Maybe even China, because they just we had this phase 1 deal. The next thing you know, now he's making fun of our accents. There are things we can't do. You're right. Our country's broken. Our country's been broken for 240 some years. Yeah. Our country was started broken, and then, our country was started on a crazy broken stupid system that only had one good thing going for it, and that was Canada could become a state just by asking. All the other states, they had to have 5,000, they had to do this. It's the Articles of Confederation. Articles of Confederation, Article 11 states that if Canada wants to become a state, come on in. Bring it. Bring down your maple syrup and we'll have a party. All the other new states, they had to petition to join and get voted on. So that was the good thing about the Articles of Confederation. But remember, the Articles of Confederation was written by the same people who wrote the Constitution after giving up on the Articles of Confederation. So the Constitution is a do-over. And it needs to be changed sometimes. Electoral College, the Senate. Okay, the fact that we know now that the executive branch, and this is what the Founding Fathers absolutely did not want, the executive branch is a monarchy if the other branches don't do their checks and balances. And that's where we are. Huge mistake giving the executive branch power to nominate judges. Huge. But, someone's got to do it. Do you give it to the judicial branch to do for themselves? Yeah, better than the executive branch because you run the risk of a tyrant, which is exactly what the Founding Fathers didn't want to happen. Anyway, that's way back history that only people like me are interested in. Okay, so let's go back to the comments. Green Room Countries on the very edge, dangerous times. I don't know that we're on a dangerous edge. Certainly in Minneapolis, and then just down the road here in Los Angeles, they shut down an intersection. But we'll recover from this. I don't think this is a breaking point. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong on this one. Yeah, you got friends who love the good old USA. Yeah, I know. Once Trump is gone, things should go back into normal, we would hope. Stephanie, you're thinking about moving to Canada. No, you know where I want to go is New Zealand. Or as my friend Gina, if you're watching Gina Nusland, she's her family's from New Zealand, and they all call it Nuzealand. So, yeah, I can get in. I don't know if I can get into, but Kevin daughter can get into New Zealand because if you're Canadian and you're under 35, you can just go work there for 29 months, and it might be that way for other people in the Commonwealth. Green Room, I don't know where in Ireland you are. If you're in Northern Ireland, you're still in the Commonwealth. So, and I don't even know how old you are. I don't know anything about you except Ireland, Green Room. So, you might be able to go to New Zealand with us. I just want to be able to touch elevator buttons without having like a panic attack every time wait, did I use... There's no glove on this hand! Oh, yeah. Snuggleland? Nuzzleland. Is that what they call it? Have you been? Has anybody in here been to New Zealand? I did watch The Lord of the Rings, and I've always wanted to go to New Zealand, but what they're talking about is they might get the film industry going in New Zealand. Why did I still have these on? They might get the film industry going in New Zealand sooner than later because they've essentially eliminated the virus. 3-4 days ago, they announced that they have no hospitalizations right now because of COVID. The virus is still there, but it is not prevalent. It's no longer... They haven't had a community spread incident of the virus in, got to be 2-3 weeks now. I don't know. Time doesn't mean anything anymore. It could be 8 years. I have no idea. No idea. No, Lizzie, Australia is very different from New Zealand. New Zealand doesn't have the virus, so that's here. On the other hand, we have Australia where everything is trying to kill you. So, very different places. That's what I know about that. Okay, feck you, Kevin. Bar tab here. Yeah, that's true. Okay, anything else? Let's see. You guys are probably wrapped up in chat. I don't even know if there's anyone still watching. I'll say goodbye. I don't know if anything else is happening today. If something does come up, shoot me a DM or something if I'm on the Twitter with you. Otherwise, let me know. I'm going to get back to packing. I got 2 more days, and then I'm out of here. And that will give you an idea here. Let's turn, yeah. So green screen's behind me, but if we turn around here, so that is what stage of packing we're in, right there. That's the computer desk, and yeah, so there's boxes of crap all over the floor. There's an Oilers scarf for you hockey fans, audio foam, the all-important Clorox. This is a DKNY shirt that I paid too much for. See, DKNY. Also, have I ever mentioned that I'm dyslexic? I am something, but I have no idea why, and I'll tell you. Because my sister was categorized, she's 2 years older than myself, she was categorized with dyslexia in grade 3, and I was in grade 1, and I knew something was wrong with my reading, but there's no way I was going to tell anybody because they made her do all kinds of extra work after school. And I'm like, even in grade 1, I was like, no! I don't care. I'll figure out how to read. So words are strange to me. Okay. Hey, thank you, Lizzie Dog. Yeah, let's have a drink soon. I want to travel. Now is the time to travel, too. So cheap. Norway's doing a great job. Norway just banned Swedish tourists. I think Denmark did as well. Because Sweden is just like, yeah, virus, have at it. Okay. I do have a lot of work. So, if something else comes up today, I'll live broadcast. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to do anything this weekend, unless there's some sort of surprise announcement. But knowing Trump, he'll just go play golf while the cities are burning. I hope this is a peaceful weekend. I really, really hope we've gotten it out of our system. And by that, I don't mean to demean in any way what's happening in Minneapolis, Los Angeles, and some other communities in our neighborhood. It's chopper. Yeah, Kawhi has Kawhi gotten totally rid of the virus though, Joanna? I need to know. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, I wish everybody could help me, but that would just be sharing the virus. You get a virus, and you get a virus, and nobody wants that. So I may see you this weekend. I may not. If not, I will see you probably for sure. Probably for sure. We'll see what happens. I have no idea. So Tuesday, what? Say bye. Oh, I'm supposed to say goodbye. Kevin Lee daughter saying I got to say goodbye. So goodbye, everybody.